Have you ever seen a player so electrifying, so unbelievably gifted, and so relentlessly driven, that even when the entire tennis world is accusing him of hypocrisy, he still manages to flip the script and prove everyone wrong? Because that's exactly what's happening with Carlos Alcaraz. And today, we're diving into why playing 3 off-season exhibitions and criticizing the ATP's brutal calendar can actually coexist without contradiction. Welcome back to Net Rush Report. Let's get straight into it. Carlos Alcaraz didn't just end his 2025 season strong. He ended it like a man trying to carve his name into tennis history as the new king. A year-end world #1 for the second time, 0.80 matches played, 0.8 titles, the highest win-loss ratio on the entire ATP Tour. And in turn, even though Jannik Sinner took him out in the ATP Finals Championship match, the ranking was already locked. The throne was secured. The crown belonged to Carlos. But right after that intense showdown, something else happened. Alcaraz picked up an injury during that very match against Sinner, an injury serious enough to knock him out of the Davis Cup finals. He had to sit at home, watching Spain come agonizingly close as they finished runners-up without him. You would think the smart play now is recovery. Rest. A little time away before the storm of a new season begins. But no, Carlos Alcaraz has other plans. Instead of taking the usual off-season breather, Alcaraz is diving into what might be the most packed exhibition tour of any top player in the world. Heavy checkmark New Jersey versus Francis Tiafoe. Heavy checkmark Miami versus Joao Fonseca. Heavy checkmark mixed doubles in Miami with Jessica Pegula and Amanda Anisimova. Heavy checkmark. And finally, a blockbuster showdown in South Korea versus Jannik Sinner just weeks before the Australian Open. That's 3 exhibitions. Actually 4, if you count the mixed doubles, all before January. This is where the critics come in: fans, analysts, commentators. Even Jimmy Connors and his son Brett on their podcast. They all said the same thing. How can Alcaraz complain about the brutal ATP calendar, then immediately book himself into more events? Some even said the word out loud: hypocrisy. But Carlos doesn't agree, and his explanation might actually surprise you. Tio Alcaraz. The backlash misses the point entirely. When he complains about the ATP calendar, he isn't complaining about playing tennis, that he's complaining about the demanding nature of an 11-month competitive season, where every match matters, every opponent is elite, and every tournament has ranking pressure, media pressure, and emotional pressure. Exhibitions? Different universe. NO ranking points, NO pressured, NO physical. Strain that compares to a real match, NO need to push the body into dangerous territory. In fact, Alcaraz says exhibitions serve a purpose the actual ATP Tour does not. They allow him to experiment, they let him test tactics, if they help him practice shot patterns he never risks in real tournaments. And most importantly, they help him stay loose, creative, and connected to the crowd. This is not about competition. This is about sharpening the blade, without the risk of breaking it. According to Carlos, exhibitions aren't battles. They're training sessions with thousands of people watching. And when you hear him say it, suddenly the criticism starts losing weight. Let's put the numbers into perspective, because when you do, the picture becomes very clear. In 2025, tournaments played: Carlos Alcaraz, 19 Novak Djokovic, age 38, 20 Jannik Sinner, 18 Alexander Zverev, 24 Taylor Fritz, 23 Felix Auger-Aliassime, 28 Luciano Dartari, tour leader 35. Just look at that spread. Even with his massive season, Carlos played fewer events than Zverev, Fritz, Felix, and far fewer than Dartari's exhausting 35. Carlos isn't overplaying tournaments. If anything, he's playing a modern, efficient schedule. But let's look at the real monster stat. Matches played: Alcaraz played 80 matches, 71 wins, 9 losses, 8 titles. Best win ratio on the ATP Tour. 80 matches is not a schedule, it's a marathon. Award at a year-long sprint that only 2 or 3 players in the world can handle without breaking. So, is he tired? Absolutely. Does he have a right to criticize the ATP calendar? More than most, because unlike players lower in the rankings who lose early and leave tournaments quickly, Carlos goes deep every single week. That means more matches, more physical strain, more mental fatigue. He's not complaining about quantity, he's complaining about intensity. If Carlos were entering more ATP tournaments, the criticism would be valid. But exhibitions? These are low impact, shorter, friendlier, practically rehearsals. And if he wants to test new tactics against Tiafoe's raw athleticism, Fonseca's explosive youth Pegula, and Anisimova's mixed doubles rhythm or Sinner's rivalry pressure, then honestly, it makes perfect competitive sense. The final layer to all of this, Alcaraz loves the fans that he thrives on energy he grows when he plays in front of people, and exhibitions bring fans closer than official matches ever can. This isn't hypocrisy. This is smart scheduling, balancing rest, recovery, marketing, preparation, and performance. Exactly what a world number one does that the next time someone says Carlos Alcaraz is contradicting himself, remember this. He isn't playing more stressful tennis. He's playing more useful tennis. He isn't risking ranking points. He's refining weapons. He isn't burning out his body. He's keeping his game sharp without the grind. That's not hypocrisy. That's strategy. And if early 2026 goes the way he expects, this strategy might be what gives him another Grand Slam, another title run, and maybe another year-end number one finish. Thanks for watching Net Rush Report. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like, subscribe, and stay locked in for more explosive tennis stories. See you in the next one.